Welcome back! My name is Baller Scuba. This is Video Games Over Time. We are still in 1983. Today, we're going to talk about Donkey Kong 3. The story of Donkey Kong 3 takes us back to Nintendo. We have been keeping a close eye on Nintendo over the years. They have been responsible for Donkey Kong and Mario Brothers. We most recently talked about Nintendo in our video on the Famicom. For the third Donkey Kong arcade game, Nintendo turned once again to Shigeru Miyamoto and Gunpei Yokoi. We have talked about these men several times before. They have been responsible, among other things, for both of the previous Donkey Kong games. Donkey Kong 3 takes a bit of a departure from the previous two games in the franchise. Instead of a platform game, Donkey Kong 3 is more of a shooter game. The player plays as Stanley, an exterminator. Stanley shoots bug spray at not only Donkey Kong, who is hanging from vines, but also at bugs that show up in the level. If Stanley is able to kill all the bugs, or is able to force Donkey Kong to the top of the screen, then the player will win the level. Stanley is also tasked to protect flowers at the bottom of the screen. Insects will occasionally try to grab the flowers and fly away with them. Flowers remaining when the player wins the level will give bonus points. The player can also get a super spray in the level. This can will drop when Donkey Kong is sprayed past the can on the vines. This super spray will push Donkey Kong up the screen further, making it easier to beat the level. There are 3 levels for the player to play through before the levels repeat. Nintendo released Donkey Kong 3 to Japanese arcades on September 28, 1983. Nintendo would release the game to American arcades in October 1983 and European arcades in late 1983. That is the short backstory to Donkey Kong 3. With that now told, it's time to play the game for ourselves. And here we are in the game, Donkey Kong 3. Copyright 1983, Nintendo of America. The high scores here, I should be able to beat them. They are very low. Here's all the different bugs that you can fight and their scores, and then we get a little demo. Everything moves very quickly in this opening bit here. But there is our trusty Stanley and the bugs that are coming after him. They will try to take those flowers away from us. They called them flowers. I wouldn't necessarily say that's what they look like to me, but that is what they are called. Your main goal really is to defeat Donkey Kong, but you can, of course, go after the bugs as well. We will do what we can in this one. I'm not particularly good at this one, but apparently I can get the top score, so maybe I am good. What do I know? Let's go ahead and put a quarter in and play the game. Spray Donkey Kong to the top. Alright, so I like to just kind of go up here and start mashing, and then when the bugs come down, then I go down, and then back up. And that's basically my strategy for this first level. And then, hey look! The super spray dropped. And then we should be able to get him all the way up to the top. There we go. Done and done. And I got a perfect bonus for all the flowers being done, and now I have the top score after beating the first level. Like I said, the high scores don't mean a lot. Do you guys need to, like, go? No. No. Okay, saved that. Try to get Donkey Kong back up there somehow. Alright, he's gonna throw those. Yeah, these guys don't want to go away. How dare you angle things? Yeah, the super spray, not here. I believe it only shows up once per life. No, I thought I was gonna get over in time. And that is our first death as Stanley. It's very traumatic compared to what Mario was going through. Okay, there we go. Avoid that. There's the super spray again. And that's how you can win. Just get the super spray and go. kind of dance was that, Stanley? What are you doing to me? And perfect bonus. I've over doubled the high score. And I still had the super spray, so it was really easy to go through the first level again. Give me all those points. The flowers are growing a bit. I think they're the same this time. Alright, now we're on the third and final level. This one should take a couple shots, I believe, yeah. Yeah, I can't fire as quickly as I would like. Yeah, when they die, they explode. And then, yeah, the bugs come after you in the first level. They, like, just harvest you. I'm not sure I understand the reasoning for that, but that is what happens. Okay, here we go, and destroy you and make sure we're directly under you when that happens. No! They fire at you. Is that it? I think I might have one more. Yeah, I have one more life. Must have gotten it along the way with the high score. Wow, you just went way down there so quickly. I'm gonna want that back. Yeah, once again, like a lot of shooters at the time, I have a hard time figuring out when I can shoot and when I can't, because I'm not really keeping track of how many of my my sprays are on the screen. And this time I killed all the bugs, so I get to move forward because of that. No bonus, I didn't get all of them. And then one of them has to regrow as a result. Ah. Come on. And yeah, the coconuts in this one are what make things difficult, plus the bugs kind of being in the way. Now I have to jump because he's too high up for me to actually get him without the super spray. But these guys are in the way, so I have to wait for them to go away. Alright, jump! Jump! Okay, super spray. Now these guys can go away and I can win. Once again, we do our little dance with a very stupid looking expression on your face. You look silly, Stanley. Alright, let's go! All the way to the top. And I've won. Not the hardest shooter I've ever played. Like I said, I didn't feel like I was good at the game, but, you know, what do I know? I need to go back down here because these guys are coming for me. Now, this one's a little bit more difficult. Yeah, a lot of these creatures do have names, but a lot of them end up being just kind of generic. Wow, didn't see you at all. Just kind of generic names for what type of bug they are. Alright, up, up, up. Get up here. And I dropped into that one. What am I doing? Is that the end of it? I feel like we should be done. Yeah, there we go. That, like, not that I wanted to be done, but it's just like, how many lives did I get? Alright, so as you can see, I absolutely crushed the previous high score. We'll put my initials in, but that's basically the game. There's not too much more to it than that. So that is actually going to do it for, you know, we can just put it in end here. That's going to do it for Donkey Kong 3. That is the game played. So with the game now played, it's time to talk about how it holds up today. Playing the game today, the game is kind of fun. For a shooter at the time, it is something that is different. You are exterminating bugs. You are also trying to keep a giant ape away with bug spray. I'm not entirely sure why that happened, but that is what the concept of the game is. It can be fun for short periods of time. However, I feel that the game is repetitive. It goes quickly to the next screen, and then you're basically just doing the same thing. And I think for the Donkey Kong franchise in particular, it shows a lack of effort in this game compared to the first two games. Keep in mind that when we talked about the first Donkey Kong game, the big deal of it was the fact that there were multiple levels for you to play. There were 4 levels in Donkey Kong 1. There were also multiple levels in Donkey Kong 2. I don't necessarily remember off the top of my head how many there were. But in Donkey Kong 3, there's only 3 levels. So compared to the first game, this seems like a game with less effort put into it. There's 1 less level. And to be honest, you can tackle every level the same way. You go up to the top, you fight Donkey Kong, you drop down a bit, and you fight the bugs, you go back up, you fight Donkey Kong, and it's just repetitive over and over. And hopefully you get the super spray, hopefully you can defeat all the enemies, but overall the levels don't really have that much variety to them. You're still on platforms at the bottom. You have to avoid enemies in a slightly different way depending on which level you're in, but otherwise it's basically the same thing over and over and over again. And the fact that I can make it through, all 3 levels pretty much without practice and going easy on it and just not really having that much of a difficult time playing this game kind of shows that the game is easy. I still do not feel that I am good at the game. I stand by that. I'm not good, but the game seems to think I am. And that's not a good sign because I don't feel like I'm in control of what I'm doing too often. And I'm still able to win fairly easily and keep going to the point that at the end of our little session, I was kind of done and ready to move on. Not necessarily to the point that I would abandon the arcade cabinet mid-game, but other people would. But because it is a Donkey Kong game, it is worth talking about. This is one of the most important franchises that we are keeping an eye on in our series, not only because of its popularity, but because of its importance and, frankly, who made it. But that is Donkey Kong 3. There's not a lot to talk about. I will mention that the world record is held by George Riley. George Riley got 3,538,000 points, which is not something that I would have the dedication to do. But this is a game that I think is worth dropping at least 1 or 2 quarters in, seeing what you can do in the game, just kind of seeing what an old Donkey Kong game is. And frankly, if I would only recommend this for Donkey Kong fans or Nintendo fans that want to see the older games. Otherwise, this is not necessarily a game that stands out, and it's probably worth avoiding if you're not interested in those particular histories. And that's my modern take on the game. When the game was released, Donkey Kong 3 proved moderately successful, at least in Japan. In America, however, the game was a commercial failure. The critics at the time were positive about the game. In particular, the game's speed and sound were praised. However, as time has gone on, views on the game have become more negative. The game not including Mario and the gameplay's repetition are typically cited as the game's downfall. Donkey Kong 3 would see ports and a sequel of sorts. We will keep an eye on these as we continue. While this game may not have been as successful as their other games, Nintendo would continue to create video games, and we will hear from Nintendo again. We will also hear from Shigeru Miyamoto and Gunpei Yokoi again. They would also continue to create video games in the future. That will do it for the story of Donkey Kong 3 for now. My name is Baller Scuba. This has been Video Games Over Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in our next video when we go Space Cadet.